We invite aggression by our enemies when we are weak. And we are weak because Joe Biden is out of it. Speaking of crises here in Washington, D.C., we have the crisis of President, as I've noted earlier in the program, President Biden being completely out of it. He's cognitively disabled. It's the reason he is not running for president. According to a report, Obama and others threatened the 25th Amendment on him unless he pulled out of the campaign. Robert Hur, the special counsel, said, well, we can't prosecute him for committing crimes because a jury would think he's just a nice old man with memory problems. And if Garland agrees with that, then he should be calling for the 25th Amendment, right? The 25th Amendment is designed to protect the public and our system from a disabled president. Now, in theory, they were worried mostly, my guess is, about a president who became disabled as a result of an attack or an injury or an accident, right? And they needed the vice president to come in and step up and be able to do and perform the president's duties as commander-in-chief and chief executive officer. But my guess is they were the more challenging difficulty would be if someone became disabled as a result of a cognitive deficit. And that, I think, is the issue with Joe Biden. I mean, I don't need to tell you. You've seen the debate. You've seen him just perform recently. He's out of it. And I'm not making fun of him. I'm concerned about him. And as importantly, I'm concerned about the United States of America and our national security. You want to know why there's a crisis in North Carolina and in the South because of the hurricane? Because Joe Biden's out of it. You want to know why there's a war in Iran and Israel and the Middle East is on fire? We invite aggression by our enemies when we are weak. And we are weak because Joe Biden is out of it. And we're all supposed to pretend it's all been settled because he's not running for president. We still have a country to defend in the meantime. So, as I've been saying repeatedly, I'm not moving on. Judicial Watch isn't moving on. And we are doing a comprehensive investigation into the 25th Amendment issue. And that has resulted in a federal Freedom of Information Act lawsuit against the Justice Department. We submitted a FOIA request in August for records and communications of senior Justice Department officials, including Garland, regarding invoking the 25th Amendment against President Biden. As I noted earlier, on February 4th or 5th, 2024, Special Counsel Robert Hur issued the report of the Special Counsel on the investigation into unauthorized removal, retention, and disclosure of classified documents discovered at locations including the Penn Biden Center and Delaware private residence of President Joseph R. Biden Jr. I read all of that because I want you to remind you of the criminality Biden was caught in. In the report, Hur called Biden a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory and declined to charge Biden with a serious felony. And this is the specifics. We have also considered that at trial, Biden would likely present himself to a jury, as he did during an interview with him, as a sympathetic, well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory. Based on our direct interactions with and observations of him, he is someone for whom many jurors will want to identify reasonable doubt. It would be difficult to convince a jury that they should convict him by then, a former president well into his 80s, of a serious felony that requires a mental state of willfulness. Congressman Claudia Tenney of New York sent a letter to Merrick shortly thereafter. Special counsel's reasoning was alarming. He recited numerous instances in which Biden exhibited dramatically compromised mental faculties and concluded that a jury would likely to perceive Biden as a sympathetic and forgetful old man. It is incumbent upon you to explore the proceedings to remove the president pursuant to the 25th Amendment Biden needs to be charged or he needs to be removed. There's no middle ground. Exactly. If Garland thinks that Joe Biden's okay, then he should charge him and reject Hur's conclusion. He has an obligation. If he agrees, he should be removed. If President Biden is as mentally sound as he and the people around him maintain, why did he decide not to seek re-election? If he's an elderly man with a poor memory, as Special Counsel Hur for AG Garland found, why has he not been removed under the 25th Amendment? And why is the Justice Department unlawfully hiding documents about this serious national security issue? Now, separately, Judicial Watch is asking for an audio of that interview with Biden that they're hiding. So that's been fully litigated, and we hope to get a decision from that court soon. But this 25th Amendment issue could save the country if it's implemented properly and in time. Now, I know people say, well, I don't want the new president or Vice President Harris to take on the duties and responsibilities of president. Well, too bad. I'm sorry. That's the way it's supposed to be. We can't have someone not be able to do the job cognitively. I mean, I may disagree with their policies, but that's what the Constitution requires. It's too risky. I'm dropping stuff here. I'm getting so agitated. Hold on a second. So we sued. We'll see what happens. But I think this should be an issue for every American and every politician here in town. If I were in Congress, I'd be having 25th Amendment hearings. I'd be calling in Kamala Harris. I'd be calling in cabinet officials, asking them about the 25th Amendment. I would be calling in President Biden. Now, he might not want to testify, but you can ask. But we've got to get serious about protecting our republic. I'm tired of politicians of both parties, those who want to destroy the republic and those who don't care that others want to destroy the republic and don't want to do anything about it. And there's a core group who kind of are semi-concerned but never really get their act together. I'm just tired of it. And that's why there's this level of urgency that I hope I'm communicating to you about the work Judicial Watch does, because we're going to try to do what we can within the law to protect the republic, expose what's happening, and allow voters to have an understanding and hopefully take actions within their purview as citizens in terms of pressure and education and also other things to protect our republic. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.